Hi, I'm Adrian Maidment. In this episode, we're looking at one of the early EVs to come onto the market. It's the BMW i3. I'll be talking to owner Cam Cummings about his experiences in owning the BMW i3.
This is EV Quest.
It's extremely light. One of the interesting ones about this car is that it's a carbon fibre tub. So the whole frame is carbon fibre. So the whole monocoque chassis is carbon fibre, which keeps the weight down. So for its time, it was it was pretty advanced. The other thing, as a BMW, it's rear wheel drive, and also it has double wishbone rear suspension. So for handling, it's amazing. So going into corners and coming out of corners, it handles not like a shopping cart, which is kind of what it looks like.
And what year is it?
It's 2015. Yeah. So the other interesting parts of it, which is I think kind of just quirky but not all that cool, but there's the rear opening doors. So the suicide doors, so it's pillarless, but fine if you've got lots of space around you. But if you're having to get out of a tight space in a car park, you've got to open the front door before you can get into the back. So you've got to open that up to then be able to get into the back, which is a bit of a pain. But that worked. They're fine. What else?
Does it have that the Rex, the small?
No, this is pure battery. This one.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were kind of just like a hybrid situation where they were trying to ease people into the marketplace, I think, and take away that range anxiety. And what they find is that the Rex ones, whilst they're good for people that want to go longer distances, the actual weight of carrying around that extra motor really brought down the range of them.
I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah. So if you want, it's really just an anxiety reducer, I think, for people that were buying them at the time, because they were pretty when they came out. They came out in 2013. So other features, don't know. Really skinny tires.
Is that 19-inch?
Yeah, but they're quite skinny. But they don't stop any of the traction. What would you say that it's? Does it get skinny? Not really. At high speeds, because it's quite a sort of a high car. So when you're out on the motorway at sort of 100 k's, you maybe feel it a little bit. But because it's still quite heavy, it really drives really well. And because it's a Beamer as well, it just feels like you're driving a much bigger car.
Yeah, because it actually looks bigger in person compared to a photograph.
Yeah,
it looks quite small on.
Yeah, the scale of it feels small, but it's actually a lot bigger than you think. The boot's not very big, but it's fine for doing grocery runs, which is essentially all we need it for. So relatively small.
What about charging?
Charging, we just charge at home. We don't usually plug it in until it's under 50%, which is maybe a couple of times a week. And we just charge it overnight, and the next morning you get up and it's full. So we don't need any rapid charge. We haven't got a special charger or anything like that in the garage. We just plug it in. But I think when people are buying cars, that's what they always go on about. They sort of talk about there's no charging infrastructure yet and all that sort of stuff. We've used the charging infrastructure maybe half a dozen times.
Yeah.
The rest of the time it's plugging in. It's more like I kind of align it to having a cell phone than to having a car. So you just bring it home and then you automatically just plug it in. Yeah. So and then that's it. And then every time you get to it in the morning, it's full. So and
you're mainly using it around town,
just around town. But it does make quite a difference, and I guess you would have seen that with other cars. If in the summertime, if it's really hot and you crank the air conditioning, you can watch the range sort of drop from 120 to 100 k straight away. So sustainability wise, I think they are one of the most sustainable cars for their production, they're 80% made out of recycled materials.
Yeah, because the doors are made of hemp, aren't they?
Yep, the materials, these materials are all hemp. This is all like recycled, like bottles and plastic and things like that. So that's all recycled, recycled materials. But yeah, 80% made out of recycled materials, and then 100% made in a factory of 100% renewable energy. So they're really green, and that's what they were trying to get to. That it was, I think it was kind of like, could they do it? You know, BMW at the time, and they did. And then, but they sat on their laurels for such a long time, and didn't take it any further. I don't know whether it wasn't profitable for them. I don't know.
Yeah, I read they didn't sell as many as they were expecting.
Yeah, well, maybe that was it. You know, which is, I think, because they're expensive. Like if you were to buy one brand new in New Zealand, they were 80k. So New Zealand new, whereas we're lucky enough to have the Japanese import side of things, and so you can pick them up from 25 to 40 sort of thing, which makes it much more affordable. So, but we bought it as a second car, but it's quickly become the car that we mostly use because 95% of our trips are just around town. Have a look under the.
Oh, yep, we get under the hood.
But there's nothing much there, so it's just got some safety stuff, and that's the plug-in piece there. That the other thing that people don't realise, I think, which is a great thing about electric cars, is they don't take into consideration the servicing costs. To service our other car there, last time we took it in was $1,000. This one to service is $150. Yeah, and all they do is half of that is the labour, and then they just refill the thing and check the wiper blades, check the oil, and brake fluid levels, check the brakes. But the brakes are all regenerative as well. I think that's one of the other cool things I like about it as well. So,
any problems with it since you've had it?
Nothing. Not a thing. Not a thing. No, absolutely flawless. So, got to replace the new back wheels. The only thing about these, the tyres, was that they're only made for this car. Yeah. So you can imagine they're quite expensive. I think even for those tiny tyres, they're like $450 each. Yeah. Yeah.
Is there any funny quirks for driving? Or is it just...
No. Oh, yeah. It's quite. I mean, a lot of people have copied it now, but the this is how you put it into drive and neutral and reverse.
Yeah. How do you start it?
So you just start it with just with the button, and then it all sort of comes to life. And so, but it's all kind of safety. And then, so once your foot's on the brake, you push it forward for drive, pull it back for reverse, and then parks on top. And that's it. And then electric handbrake, and that's it. But all of the system and stuff in the middle is quite, it's all pretty much standard BMW stuff. It does have some eco modes and some comfort modes and things like that. So you can, if you're really sort of wanting to get to somewhere and you're running low on charge, you can put it on an Eco Pro mode. Cuts out the air conditioning and things like that, and will boost your range. So that's it's quite good. Used it a couple of times just to get out of, think where you're thinking you're not going to make it to a charge point. Missing out, is he?
Well, what's the feature you like the best about it?
Well, I think the regenerative braking, which is pretty standard on most electric cars, but the idea that your braking's not going to waste, it's not just getting dissipated to heat. The fact that you take and you can drive with one foot, it's quite a bit to get used to. Maybe takes a few days, but once you're into it, it really regulates driving, and it also teaches you to drive economically as well. So, because, every time you're putting your foot down, you can see it, see the power going or what have you. So you drive a lot more efficiently, I guess. I think the nice thing about electric cars is that they're really quite soothing and relaxing to drive.
A big thanks to Cam for the tour around his BMW i3. If there's a topic you'd like me to cover in a future video, let me know in the comments below. And of course, please like and subscribe to this channel. And right here, there's another video for you to check out. Cheers!